Power 106 Brown Bag Mornings, and it's excellence in here today.
Oh, yeah.
Bruh, the room is full of some amazing talent and DoKnow. So DoKnow's here. He's going to get me later.
Yeah, he's
going to get me later.
Right now. He's about to get you right now.
Speed roast. All right, we have our homie DoKnow that left us, but he's here because he's working on big things.
That's right.
And you
Big
cannot
business.
work on big things, especially being Latino, especially being in LA.
Without leaving.
Without leaving power? No. Without Jimmy Humilde, man.
Yeah.
And we have Jimmy Humilde in here. What you've done, man, we could do a list and there'll still be stuff missing of what you've done to put Latinos and Mexicans in position and the way that you have. You have this movie coming out, Clika, also starring our guy JayDee. JayDee, you're playing
boy.
Chito in the film.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have all three of them in here, and it just feels so cool to just see it. You know, just see the richness, the amazing.
We're missing concrete, but, you know.
We are missing concrete. He said he'd call in, but it would be too much. It would be.
Yeah.
It would be
he's
a
too
lot.
loud.
Yeah. So tell me where this thought arose with you, Jimmy, that I need to make a movie.
I think it was when we sat down. I kind of always been like the person where if everybody's going one way, I want to go the other way. You know, it's like I don't like to be in a full car, como se dice, no? And I kind of seen that the music was already getting to like, it was getting too and so I decided kind of to like look into other things, right? We did look into like, you know, getting into like other stuff that had nothing to do with music, but I think one of the things that I looked at was movies, right? Like what do us Mexican Americans always have? Like this is actually a film dedicated to a raza, you know? It's not 100% dedicated to the people in Mexico. It's not 100% dedicated to a paisa here. You know, it's a straight up movie that represents us Mexican American firstborns or second, third generation, whatever. But it kind of gives it a feeling where it's not about just family. It's not. Nah, we threw everything in there. You know what I'm saying? We threw the streets. We threw what really happens. You know, what can come out of a thought? What can come out of a dream? You know, because us being Mexican American didn't really have a door open growing up. You know, now the doors are opening, gracias a Dios. And when we looked into it, it was more like. I'm a weird number guy. Like I like to see where our people are at, you know, and I like to see what we're doing. And that's where I started with the music. Like we were getting into places that JayDee could tell you we were touring in like country cities, you know, but that's where our raza was at. Like if we went to North Carolina, we wouldn't go to Charlotte, you know, we would be at a rancho and then 6, 7, 8,000 people would show up, you know? So that's pretty much what we've always done. And if we show up to Florida, we don't do Miami, we don't do Tampa, we would do like the ranchos, you know, like and then we would have 7 to 10,000 people show up. So it's like I kind of like studied to like where we could get into, you know, and
how do you study that? I'm wondering because there is
internet.
Kind of building your own circuit,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Like,
kind
you know,
of.
it's like a
now,
whole
tells you
new-
now he's
everything,
checking
you know?
the census. All right, where
Yeah, no,
are-
for sure.
Well, it's kind. Look,
Yeah.
so getting to that. I don't know if you guys know about it. 72% of the moviegoers in the U.S. are Latinos.
Yep.
Right?
I-
Latinos.
I tell the crew all the time we're the biggest consumer. The brown dollar goes a long way,
I like
but
that, the brown
often they like us being the consumer only.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing what you did with Rancho Humilde, the music side. Period. Has been incredible and put so many people on the forefront of that scene. And you're saying it kind of got like more like everyone's focusing on the music now. So you're like, where else can we put like our focus on? So then you went to the movie part.
Yeah. Well, to go a little bit of what you just said right now is like to let it be known like it wasn't by myself. You know, everything that has been created has not been. I got 2 business partners, Rocky and JB, that has believed in whatever locura comes up to me and they follow and whatever they come up with too, we go with it.
Yeah.
But not only that, we have artists like, you know, Herencia de Patrones and JayDee and a lot of other bands that have, you know, created and believed in what we've even thought of bringing out, you know, and there's a movement and it's kind of like cool. We put something out there that they can mess with, you know, so it was easy for them as well as it was easy for us, you know, because we kind of did what we
move
both
into
wanted.
it.
Yeah. So going back to the number thing, like 72% of the moviegoers across America are Latino, right? These are actual facts. Like I'm not, you know, off of that 72%, how many you think are Mexican American?
67%.
60.
It's a little bit bigger actually. Off of if we go 100% off of 60 off of 72%.
Oh, got you.
We're probably like at about another 75%, right? Mexican American. That's how much we are.
Yeah.
You know, as big as we are. So 25% of the rest is different Latino ethnicities, you know, it's los colombianos,
Puerto Ricans,
whatever else, right? And so I was like, I go along and I'm like, I look at the last 10, 15 years, how many movies we have, and we have none.
Yeah, bro.
You know, and we're like the biggest consumers, right? So then I thought of this idea, and actually there's like 3 different ideas that we have. We wrote probably like 4 to 5 movies already. And this was one of the movies, and one of them I was like, dude, I gotta find the dude. And then this dude, and then I was like, JayDee. It has to be JayDee.
JayDee is Chito.
But it was a trip when I called JayDee. I was like, hey, JayDee, you know, because what you see is what you get from JayDee. This is it. Like, you know, it's like his expression is kind of like, but I kind of know, like, all right. Like,
where you could get him in a pocket of him acting, maybe, right?
Yeah, because we definitely weren't looking for somebody loud, you know, and we have a lot of loud artists, you know, but we weren't looking for that because it was gonna be unbelievable, like, you know, and we wanted somebody to like, the people are gonna like, I believe him,
right?
You know, and dude, I would look at the videos and I studied JayDee. I looked at a lot of his music videos and I see his actions, his movements, and knowing him for so many years, I was like, this is JayDee,
this is it.
You know. So when we got and I talked to JayDee about it, he was like, I'm in. I was like, all right, man, let's go. Yeah. And then he did this skit with Concrete. And honestly, like, I swear to God, like, bullshit to the side. Like, I dropped a tear. Because it was believable. And I was like, wait a minute, we wrote this, right? But it was
now
a story
it's come to life,
where he
in
talks
the
about his mom, his jefita, and going back to it. It's like, how many people cannot relate to that part we're talking about? Yeah. You know, especially us growing up in the neighborhood, you know? So then, at that point, before I hit up JayDee, I already had hit up DoKnow.
No way.
Yeah.
I was first casted.
DoKnow knows what I'm talking about.
DoKnow wasn't on the poster, but DoKnow was the thought.
We actually, remember that one thing we did one time? It was.
Remember the one thing we did that one time?
When everybody linked up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Were you there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't.
So one time I called everybody. I reached out to all the I reached out to all the Mexican Americans and I said, look, we're all Chicanos. You know, it's like, forget about who has more money than what, you know, and we ain't here for that. Yeah. And everybody, I said, look, forget about that beef stuff. You know, if you got beef, leave that up, leave it in the streets, you know. And we came in one room, and that was pretty amazing. But then we had another thing where we were actually like, we talked about a movie, right?
Yeah.
We road played, or what was it?
I think we sat down.
Hold on.
You member.
I promise Jimmy is not Diddy.
Hey, you
just because their names end with Y, they're not the same person.
Hey, you ever been to a Jimmy party though?
Yeah. Actually, my parties are a little different. They're more family parties. Like
Let's
that.
go.
Okay, that's good.
That is true. It's like Theo's and kids running around. I'm like, this is real.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, okay, so what's that convo then? DoKnow?
When Jimmy tries to tell you something, he like, it's crazy because I'm like, I think everything's a joke, and he'd be like, DoKnow, you got this. We're gonna figure it out. You're gonna be here and then here and then.
Even the 72% you don't understand. And then I know DoKnow's just thinking of a joke.
And I'm just like, okay, so how much am I getting paid? Like, what is but
he wants a chain too, Jimmy.
Yeah, fact. And then, I mean, at least with Clika, when he pitched to me, I was like, who's gonna do it? And he said that he's like JayDee, and I was like, that's down to act. Because I met JayDee before, and he's like that's his happy.
Chill.
Like that's like I've seen him on set. I've seen him frustrated, and it looks like the same as he's happy. So I'm not sure whether he's happy or not. You know what I'm saying?
That's scary.
So when he pitched the movie, I was like, let's do it. And then when I seen the whole thing come to play in person, I was like, damn, it's for JayDee. It's perfect for this role. I ain't gonna lie.
Wow.
Bro, it's honestly is like, I've seen this movie already probably about 200-300 times. Serious. Like, even now that it's done, like I just send it back for a couple of things that I didn't like.
Yeah.
And it's like, we started in a little room with a bunch of directors and producers that we were able to grab up, and and honestly, people that were 100% down. I mean, we started this in COVID, you know?
Yeah.
So the idea came along in COVID, and then it took us like a good 3 years to like finally, okay, we're going to get going. Then you guys took, what, about 6 to a year filming it? Or how long?
It felt like longer, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was like a good solid, like 4 months straight back to back, just recording every day.
Yeah.
From whatever time we'd go in, it'd be a 12-hour day.
Yeah.
And it felt like a job again, you know, because I wasn't used to anything like that.
Clocking in and all that.
Yeah, it was cool. It was definitely a different experience, but I was comfortable with the whole cast being there.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody was able to guide me right. So.
Did you ever feel like you could act, JayDee? Because I'm sure you set your life path on music, and so that was one thing. And I was like, dang, acting too. Is
I mean, I took it kind of as like me being in a music video. I don't really do like no acting scenes like that. Like acting is just me like doing my thing, singing. But I don't know, like it felt natural when I got to it. Like the first day I was a little nervous, you know, but once I got comfortable with the cast and everybody, and it felt natural.
JayDee, was the story relatable to your life? Because I remember when we did an interview, you told me about how you were doing construction with your brothers, and then you started doing music, and it kind of started to like blow up.
Definitely, yeah. Before even construction, I was doing field work. That's like that was like my first job. It was picking peaches, desayando, everything that has to do with field work. Yuba City.
Wow.
Yuba City, California, and all around, yeah.
So you can really tap into, like, low-key when we see the memes on Thanksgiving where it's like, thank Jesus for your food.
I've been
and
doing
Jesus
that
in the fields is like, you're welcome.
Thank JayDee too.
So you understand
thank me
that.
too. My name's Jesus.
Yeah.
So you can thank me.
Gracias, Jesús.
Gracias, Jesús.
Muchas gracias
Jesús.
por todo.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming at first it's a thought. Then you guys write it out. Now it's all put in play. Does this confirm to you, Jimmy? Because I think sometimes, low-key, the way you talk, again, when you're talking, I'm like, hell yeah, like, you probably killed it in Chicano studies. Because the way that you're so, like,
I never went into Chicano studies.
you could make a class, low-key, though, a master class on the way you're thinking.
I'm actually, I got invited to Harvard University to give a speech next week.
No way.
And I wasn't gonna go. I promise. I was like, nah. I didn't even graduate from high school, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I dropped
What am I
out.
gonna
You
tell
know?
them?
I was like, what
Yeah.
am I gonna go tell these guys? Hey, like, you didn't drop out. That's right. You know, you know, like I don't know. And then my daughter was like, what do you mean? And my wife was like, you better go. And I was like, they were like, well, you ain't going, we're going. And I was like,
That'd be funny.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And so I called them back and I said, you know what? I'm down. You know, and it was cool because they kind of reached out to me to like all my people surrounding me,
right.
you know, and I ignored it like 4 times, like, nah, I'm good. I'm not good with speeches, you know, believe it or not. And then I agreed to it, so I'm going to Harvard.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
That's amazing, bro.
But
Yeah.
even seeing the way that you talk, and you've been talking this way, even before like Rancho Humilde was what it was, you talk that way, and I'm sure sometimes people are like, that's just Jimmy talking. He's just. But seeing this in fruition now, I'm sure that's another confirmation to you. Like, nah, I got this, man. Y'all gotta start listening to me.
Yeah. You know what's crazy was that we were just gonna put the movie out. I mean, it was. Keep in mind, I had no idea what the hell we were doing. I don't think anyone around us. The only ones that knew was the directors and the producers, but they didn't know about the business side of it, you know. And when we came in and we literally, it was a story I came up with, and you know, thank God I have these beautiful people that I work with, you know, these directors and writers and producers and all, and when Sean, which is the writer, and then you know, Michael, which is a director as well, and all the team that works with them. You know, when I sat down with them, this is 2 white guys, all right? And I'm right there, they're in front of me, and I'm like, look, I want this, and I want that, and I want this. And then he was like, we got you, bro. All right, man, you know, and but they really studied, you know, our culture. Yeah. And they got down to it. And when they came up with the story, it was like, all right, let's change this, let's change that. Hey, all right, that guy's going to be named this guy. I actually named everybody. So, and then
way.
a couple other people brought in some names too. And I was like, man, let's just bring in a couple of different names. But when it gets down to it, and I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this movie, right? Like, what the heck am I going to do with it? I told some friends from Sony. I have a really good relationship with Sony, and the music side. And I just said, hey, they were like, well, we're going to get you a meeting with the president of Sony Pictures. And I'm like,
wow.
Like, what do you? This is a guy that like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm talking about
Yeah.
Spider-Man, Avengers.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
this is a dude, bro. And I'm like, so I looked him up, and I'm like, oh hell no! Like this guy, like, what am I gonna talk to this dude about? So sure enough, I get there late. I'm like 45 minutes to an hour late,
Damn.
and I have the president, I have the vice president, I have
Yeah.
like, I have a team of like 25, 30 people in the room, and I'm late, you know, and I'm like, man, it wasn't me, it was a dude that crosses, you know, the
crosswalker
crosswalk guy, it's taking forever, you know. But
held me
honestly, I got to drop off my kids in school every day, no matter what. So I was like, I was dropping off my kids, whatever. I get there, and they're kind of like a in and out thing. They kind of like gave me the attention because of the people that called them.
Right.
Straight up.
Right.
You know, they weren't there because they went looking for us.
Yeah.
They were there because the big dude on the music side,
Said,
yo,
"Hey, take
I
this."
need a favor. Can you look at this dude? But when I sat in there, I didn't go in there to show a movie. I went in there to speak facts. You know, and I brought up a chart, and I said, this is what's going on. And you guys have no idea what's going on. So they were like, oh, shoot. You know, like they paid attention.
Yep.
You know, that's when that dude had to go. He had to go to a meeting. He said, I got like 5 minutes. He stood in there for 2 hours.
Come on.
So,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying? He canceled everything they had to do for 2 hours. He canceled everybody's stuff. You know, and I was like, yo, because I was speaking facts. Then we watched the movie, and I only gave him 16 minutes. You know, and that's all. And they were like, we want to see the rest. I was like, nah, you got to pay for it.
Come on.
Right?
Come on.
But
Hell yeah.
we sat down with them, and we brought the movie to them, and they said, look, are you willing to let the big studios like come in and this is the guy that has worked on the Avengers. This is the guy that worked on Spider-Man. This is the guy that produced this movie, and they all came along and they put all their sense in it. And now it's like it's a huge studio.
Yeah.
We went in there and watched the movie. It's at a movie theater inside Sony Pictures. By the way, we got a building at Sony Pictures now.
Come
You
on.
know what I'm saying?
Come
So
on.
yeah.
More
fun.
more
We got
coming. Is that
Yeah.
that's what
Oh,
that
yeah.
sounds like? More coming.
I got a 5 movie deal going on with them,
Amazing.
where I'm involving everybody
Everybody.
that's starting in the beginning. Of
And I
it,
know
you
what you did. You showed them like that untapped market, and it's like, look, they got to see themselves, and they'll pay more money. I promise
Yeah.
you that. Like, and your track record shows that
Yeah,
you
on
understand the
music
audience.
side.
You know.
And then you're already in house with Sony, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And you've
That's
already
tight.
shown
You
proven.
know what was crazy is that I look at this the same thing as I did it with music. You know, it's like I grew up listening to hip hop and música mexicana. You know, my mom, it was like Cállate de Linares, Ramon Ayala, Vicente Fernandez, Antonio Aguilar, everybody, whatever. But then at the same time, I had an older brother in my neighborhood. You know, it's like we listening to NWA, we listening to Run DMC, we listening to, you know, whoever it was, you know, LL Cool J, and then, you know, Ice Cube and whatever. So my thing was always like, okay, this is cool, but when I met Chalino, you know, that was like, whoa.
Jimmy, I didn't know you met Chalino Sanchez.
No, I didn't meet Chalino. I met his music. Like, nah.
No, you said when I met
No,
Chalino.
no. I'm going to be real with you.
I was like,
JayDee
wait,
was like,
what?
Jimmy, you a fucking liar.
I was trying
No,
to do the math in my
Yeah,
head
I was
right
like,
now.
hold on.
I'm like, yeah.
You have no idea. It was like when I met Chalino, it was like, I say I met him because I really met, like, I didn't, like, it was
Yeah,
like a
and the
lifestyle,
music,
you know?
yeah.
Like, it was dope. I got into that music. And it was my playlist, you know, was a CD that I did at home, and I had a corrido and then a hip hop song. Corrido
Yeah,
and then a hip hop
it's
song.
always been
you
a
know?
mix
Yeah.
of that. You haven't known life not with them intertwined, and so then you started the music because of that. You know.
Yeah, and honestly, like when we started the music, I would say 90% of the Chicanos weren't messing with Mexican music.
That's
you know what
true.
I'm saying? And now to see is dope because I see everybody that messes with it. To me, that was my dream. You know, it was our dream. It was, you know, all of us that has took a part of it dream, you know, and
Yeah.
and when I heard, for example, when I heard JayDee, like JayDee was the first one to bring the street into the game
into
because
it.
I was like, I need to find that band, you know, and it was like I would think about it. I swear to you, it was like I would think about it and then it would happen. Like
Yeah, you
and then-
manifested. You manifested JayDee.
it was crazy. One of our employees, Churro, you know, which is
Churro Beezy.
JB's brother.
Yes, sir.
He put this song on and I was like, what? I was like, that's weird, bro. And I hear JayDee and one of the parts he goes que mi banco es mi caja de zapatos, you know, and y le doy gracias a mi madrecita porque escogí esta vida, like what is it? le doy disculpas, quiero.
Zapatos.
You can sing it out loud if you want.
I gotta remember.
But my bank is my shoebox.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I put
so
all
me,
my
I was
bread
like,
in a shoebox. Yeah.
I was like, that was me for
Same.
like, it's still me, you know what I'm saying? Like, believe it. Like, ain't nothing changed, you know? Like,
Le pido disculpas a mi madrecita. No es culpa de nadie. Yo escogí esta vida. Si me va bien, le va mejor a mi familia.
yeah. See, when I started hearing those lyrics, I was like, yo, like, I gotta meet this dude, you know? And when I met him, I was like, yo, bro, like, you're a lyrical genius, dude. Like, this is what we need, you know? And he was like, bet, let's go. And we just took off, you know? And that's when we got the Northern California involved, you know? And then we went to different states, you know? Everybody don't know, but we started here in L.A. And then in L.A. it went a little bit to San Diego. Then it started going to Phoenix. Then it started going to Las Vegas. Then to Bakersfield. And then started going more north. And then we started touring. Like, we just said, man, let's tour.
Let's see, yeah.
You know? And they were like, let's go. And we started going into cities. And I remember having 100 people at the places, you know? And it was like cool. We were happy.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, shoot, we got 100 people here.
Is this the SMO tour?
It's the SMO.
Wow.
With this type of music, but at that time we already had Alta Cocina, Codiciado, Legado Siete. We had Hijos de Barrón, Alegres del Barranco. Like, we already had a
lineup.
Movement.
a good lineup, a movement. But when this came along, man, and, you know, it was like we had people showing up that it wasn't a Tejana anymore. You know, it wasn't Tejana and boots. Like,
It's an LA hat.
yeah,
It was a hat, yeah.
It was a hat. Like, it was just a hat, period. And Texas was where we...
And a gun. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding.
A couple of guns.
Yeah. Over there you could carry.
A couple of dudes with guns. Real talk. You know?
Before you move on, you're right about I get and I gotta big up DoKnow on this, because there was a time where when we looked at like corridos or música mexicana, regional mexicana, it was our parents' music, our tíos' music, or we heard at the parties. It wasn't our music because the people that look like us or our age wasn't making it. And DoKnow's the one that put us up on a lot of your artists. They're like, no, listen to this, and this is popping. And then I saw it just explode after that. So it's cool that I guess there was just that part where we were listening to, and with us, you know, we like what we like. We like familiarity. So we would stay listening to Chalino Sanchez. Why would we listen to this new person if I like Chalino's music? You know what I'm saying? So it was cool to now you being a part of introducing the acts that'll get the young ones to listen and it sound like their life too.
Yeah, it was hard to look. Well, look, one of the things was that a lot of the people here didn't understand the corridos from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? So when I told these bands and I told these artists, you guys got to write about here. You know, you got to talk about the culture. Like when I met Legado Siete, and it was like, este corrido no es para un narco, es para un marihuano. I was like, that's dope, bro. Like, hell yeah, we need to get that out.
Do it.
You know, I'm gonna smoke one of that.
Yeah,
you know?
gallo.
Yeah, and it was like, we were doing stuff like that. Like me, I would always hear something, lyrics in a song, and I'd be like, okay, that has to be it. You know, that's the song. This is it. That's that. But going back to that, you know, us growing up how we did, it was like, I've always been known as the paisa, you know, like they used to call me Jimmy the Chunt, you know, it's like, because like I was always listening to Mexican music. Like my homies, like dudes that didn't even speak, like real Chicanos that didn't even speak, you know, Spanish. They were at the clubs with me with Tejanas and boots, you know, and because of the girls, you know, they were there because of the girls.
Which club, Jimmy? Which
Parral, Farallon, back in the days, you know, and it's like,
Portorino, what's up?
yeah, so, you know, we were there and they were like, dude, like, they would get involved with it, and then one day we had a flyer party, and then it was, you know, me and JB, and it was just, honestly, it was just a little thing, like, it was just a little get together, and like all these people showed up, you know, and just homies of ours by text, and everybody showed up in their Air Force One, girls in their heels, it was nothing but tierra on the bag, man, but nobody was tripping,
right?
You know, we had banda, and then I put DJ, and we had hip hop music and everything that was popping at that time, and people were like, hey, when y'all gonna have another party? We're like, dude, that was just a one-time thing, you know? And that's when we decided, like, you know what? Let's do this. But then, you know, we were just party promoters, man. And whatever artists we liked, it was like, we would just put them on. Like, it wasn't like, oh, he's popping. Like, nah, it was like Gerardo Ortiz, Regulo Caro, El Commander, you know, Larry Hernandez, Roberto Tapia. These are just artists we liked. It wasn't even somebody that it was.
The fact you could book them, duffel bag boy. Hey, okay, you have a lot of cool stuff, and I'm gonna tell you that I know about your cool stuff, and I didn't like. I was walking outside of Dodger Stadium the other day. You have your own parking spot at Dodger Stadium. Look at you.
Yeah.
In the front.
That's crazy.
In the front, bro. And it just says
that's
Jimmy
legendary.
Humilde, like reserved for Jimmy Humilde. And I'm looking at that and I'm like, when you get stuff like that, I guess being from out here too, it must feel like, oh man, like that. This is big.
Yeah. I mean, you got to think about it too. Look, I'm 45. I spent 37 years of my life broke. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, of course, I'm going to do things that I probably like seen or thought of it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like the majority of my life I was broke. You know what I'm saying? It's like I've been, you know, I got money, but it's not like I got, you know.
Right.
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
But
I got money and then
He
just
just
stop there.
remembered.
They just stop there.
Oh shit! Remember that deposit? He's like, wait, no, actually, no.
No,
Yeah,
but I
that's
mean,
it. That's what it is.
well,
It's
I mean,
just
we
you're
worked
able
a
to
lot,
now.
though, yeah.
You're doing it now for all the times that you couldn't and you didn't have it.
Yeah.
The stuff you would dream about, I'm sure you're like, man, I want a Dodgers parking spot, or I
That's
want to sit
amazing.
behind home plate, or
Well, I mean, I never in my life, I swear to God, I never in my life thought I was gonna be at a dugout ticket. You know?
Yeah, bro.
Like, bro, I was at the reserve, and you know, I'm like,
Pavilion.
I know y'all fools having fun over there, you know. And I look at them, I just stay looking up, you know, like, oh, look at that fool's fighting over there, you know. Like, I know what's cracking, you know. I've been kicked out of a game before. I ain't gonna say that. Me and JB, we loud, you know. But it's,
Is that something I'm wondering? When you were like, yeah, I got a parking spot at Dodger Stadium, is there something that tops that? Is there something else that we don't like? What's your coolest, I guess, thing that you have? You literally came in here and you said you have a coffee maker with you at all times.
Oh, your
Like these types
The
of things are
lowriders
like,
too. Lowrider
Yeah.
game is
Oh, your
crazy.
fleet?
yeah, I mean the lowriders, but I think my biggest blessing is being able to take care of my family.
wow.
You
Yeah,
know, it's like-
humilde. I get it. I get it.
No, but I mean that's my biggest. If you want me to floss, I'm gonna
Yeah.
floss that. You
Yeah.
know, because I mean, my brothers and sisters are all older than me. You know, I'm the second one to the youngest. And right now, like, you know, I have a sister that's really sick. I have a brother that's going through a
Yeah.
lung
Life,
transplant.
man, yeah.
And honestly, like, I'm paying for all that. You know, and it's like it don't. I thank God I'm at a point where it's like I don't even care what it costs. I get
Yeah.
it done. You know, and my brothers and sisters look at me and they're like, they thank me every day. You know, I'm like, dude, like stop. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like thank my dad. There's probably my dad up there, you know, doing this for us, you know? And I'm like, and when it comes down to that, it's like, yeah, you look at the cars, you look at whatever, you see the Dodgers sign, whatever. But if I wasn't doing that, I wouldn't appreciate that.
yeah.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
And to me, that's my biggest blessing. I don't. The rest is extra. You know, it's like to be able to see my mom living cool, happy. You know, not being able to worry about if we're gonna pay the rent next
Yeah.
month. You know, it's like I know what that feels, and that movie's about that. You know what I'm saying? That movie represents a lot of that. Like JayDee. I ain't gonna say too much about the movie, but JayDee, you know, the main thing in his focus is his mom.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one of the things in the movie is like us, Raza growing up is our moms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the ones that we're blessed to like, you know, still have them around and stuff like that, you know, and I think DoKnow's part comes
over
in
here.
and I was like, dude, DoKnow is gonna be the perfect guy for this spot, you know, and sure enough, like DoKnow pops out and it's like, oh shit, like you know, like you're about to laugh your ass off, and you do. You know, and I was in a room. These guys don't know, but we watched the movie with a bunch of people, right? And they didn't know who I was. I was a regular guy that walked in there, and like they were laughing about it. And I would look and I would see people wiping their eyes, and I was like, oh shit, like this is really happening, you know,
Yeah.
like. And then at the end, like they were like, you know, clapping, and I was like, what the hell? And the majority of the people that were in there were Chicanos or Mexican, whatever, pero a lot were también white, black, and other
Yeah.
ethnicities, and there was a black guy that was like, man, the dopest part is that there was a black guy in it too, you know, and
Yeah.
and that you know that's dope that they they doing that,
included.
and like, is this, hold on, who did this? Like, who are these people? You know, the guy's acting like he's asking like, who's the actors and stuff like that. They're like, oh, you know about them, you know, and
Wow.
that's dope.
It was
you know?
probably like a research group or something. They like a test group
Yeah,
that they
it
said.
wa- it
Yeah,
was-
like a
That's
screening.
tight.
Yeah, and it was pretty dope.
You know,
That's fine.
DoKnow, I talked to you about your experience too, because we're doing the pod, and then he's like, yeah, you know, I gotta roll. I'm gonna be at Jimmy Humilde's compound, or like, remember when you were talking about?
Sitting on your.
Yeah, oh yeah, like we're over here in our little studio. That experience, because you're in acting now, like you're full in. This is your second movie, dog. No,
Yeah.
third.
Third.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure.
So it doesn't make you feel like, oh yeah, I'm in, I'm on.
Oh, for sure. Especially like we'll have meetings. I know like probably like JD and Jimmy have their own their own meetings, but I'll talk to Jimmy about some shit. And Jimmy will be like, "Hey, this person asked about you. They want to know about this. They want to know about this. What's your availability?" And I'm like, "Hell yeah, that shit dope." But just filming the movies dope. For filming the movies, is like because you go from me knowing nobody. Like I knew JD, but that wasn't like my boy,
On set.
So it's kind of like awkward just sitting there with each other. Like, okay, now we gotta pretend we've been best friends for 10 years.
Because you guys are best homies in the movie, Chito and Blood.
Yeah, something similar. But I think shit. My favorite part was being in his hometown. In Yuba City. That shit was viral.
Yeah, we went up to Yuba City to film too.
Did you have somebody in your life like a DoKnow?
Yeah, hell yeah. Bloody.
Yeah, Bloody.
Yeah, Bloody. He fits the
That's why I'm saying he fit perfect.
Shout out Bloody, because Bloody. So I knew Bloody a little more than I knew JD. So when I was doing the film, I was like, damn, I kind of do look like Bloody, and I gotta play that.
Wait, does he?
Yeah, I do. Just I don't think Bloody wears hats a lot, but something similar. Yeah, for sure. But that shit was dope, man. It's fun. The whole movie experience, especially with the whole team. I mean, the whole team. Sean, Michael, them fools made us feel real comfortable. Yeah. I know there was times where they were like, bro, you got to get your shit together because we'll be fucking around or just pendejando, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, bro, the experience was fire. It was dope.
No, that's so cool.
That shit was fun.
And it comes out August 15th. You know, that date, to me, like, I'm a very big numbers person, too. We just passed the memorial of 6 years of Nipsey Hussle passing away. Sure. Also Selena. And Nipsey's birthday is August 15th. And to me, that day is a day of celebration because we don't really celebrate the day he passed. But I'm like, damn, this is something to do on a day for me that means something, you know? And it feels really cool, you guys representing not just music, but Latinos and Los Angeles and Yuba City, and understanding like, oh, this is for us all, you know? Yeah. It felt really cool that you said that the black guy was like, I like that we're involved because we are involved. You know,
Master P's in it.
What?
Yeah.
That's so tight.
I wasn't there for that. I was hating. I was like, "What?" Yeah, tell me that man for the whole other scene, you know. But JD
is that an exclusive?
Yeah, not for the
Nobody else know that.
Nobody else knew that. So yeah,
Master P.
And what he's done in rap music, and how he's translated
and he did
it.
I got the hookup.
Yeah,
and then I got the hookup.
So I mean, you know what was dope? I'm gonna tell you something. When people found out that this movie was done, and a lot of people reached out. Yeah, like, how can I be a part of it? And I was like, who? You?
Yeah.
Like, what's up, dog? Hey, sing me that song, dude. You know, like, I ain't gonna say no names, but you know, but and then it was like, what? Like, man, hold on. Hey, fool, you know that movie? I got him on the phone, you know, and it's like, it was incredible. Like, honestly, to get that, and look, right now my phones ring off the hook. Yeah. People dying to invest hundreds of millions of dollars in Mexican music. Yeah. You know, it's like, look, I don't hate on nobody. I swear to God, I wish everybody makes it. I pray one day somebody makes more than me and does more than me. Like, I swear to God, like, to me, it's like, if somebody here in this room, dude, I find out he's doing more movies than me, making more money in the music business or whatever, dude, I'm gonna look at him and be like, hell yeah, because I knew I had at least something to do with it.
For sure.
You know, and to me, that's already a blessing. Yeah. You know, it's just something I do gotta say though, is like, look, other raza that make it, please stop trying to think you're another raza when you make it. You know, stop looking out for another. Like, don't forget who put you there. You know, it's like I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna stop leaving the streets. I'm never gonna stop lowriding. Yeah. I'm never gonna stop being out there, you know, donating to the communities.
He don't even want to go speak at Harvard. He's like, no, stay in.
Look, but like, I know you
have a lot of like, I gotta give and stay here.
Dude, I owe everything to the community. You know what I'm saying? It's like if I see I promise you, all the kids that come up to me, I always hand them something. I take off my hats. I've taken off my shoes a gang of times and hand them to people. Wow. You know, and it's like I
when you say something.
Yeah.
How about BUU?
Huh?
BUU? Because I have my 6 and my 7-year-old outside.
Yeah, I got them.
Woo! Let's go. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell them to stay in school.
Yeah.
I got it. I'll make sure. No, but going back to that, it's like, look, all these artists that make it out there, actors, comedians, singers, artists, whatever. Stay true to your game, man. Stop because you made it. No, you ain't gotta go think you're somebody else, you know, or go and be like, oh, I'm gonna dress like these people, because we're looking at you guys like clowns. You know what I'm saying? Those people that's still here, we're looking at you like a clown. And it's funny because I see them go and then they come back. They go and then they come back, and I'm like, bro, you have no idea how, you know, frustrating that is,
Right.
because we have fought so much
We never left.
for us to continue, you know. And look, I guarantee you, we're gonna have the next couple mayors probably gonna be, you know, Raza. You know, we're gonna have a governor that's gonna be Raza, and one day we're gonna have a president that's gonna be Raza. I swear to you, and it's gonna happen. And when that happens, it's gonna continue the growth, because I'm seeing it right now. I'm probably one of the only Mexican American entrepreneurs that has walked into these studios and to these companies and talk about how I want to talk, not what they want to talk about. I don't even want to listen to them. They're gonna listen to me.
To you.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm speaking facts. And a lot of these people go in there and like, oh, I want to do a song with Drake. I want to do a song with you know, this other person, whoever. And I'm like, why? Like, do I really want to listen to that? I'm not talking about my artists or none of that. I'm just giving an example, right? But I'm like, to me, it's like, you know how many people I've turned down, like even to just do business with, and how many companies we've turned down because I know they want to like.
Yeah, everyone wants to buy in because you're talking about how people are hitting you up with billions of dollars to invest and they're not raza right now, but you understand like this is ours. Like you got to keep it ours as much as possible, which is what I'm gathering from you. But even seeing how this is it, like the Mexican music scene, just being the Mexican scene, especially at a time like this, low-key, when we're not only are we like the most popping, we're also the most targeted. Like that's no joke.
Sure.
You
right
know
now
what I'm
you
saying?
can see it. I mean, we are the most targeted.
So even to just like bang that chest and be like, no, we're making it and we're gonna be beyond that. It's a tone that we're not supposed to. A lot of us. Quédate calladito, like just work and all of this, and I think that's part of our humilde cultura. But at the same time, it's like seeing that representation. You're showing someone that would have probably stayed quiet, probably not wanted to do something, do it themselves. So I think that example, that demonstration, speaks beyond itself, Jimmy. As tough as maybe people may think like you seem, because I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't know what we're going to walk into. I don't know if we're going to walk into some type of Mexican Illuminati initiation or whatever. We're down, by the way. We're down. We're so down. I have a sacrifice right here if you need it. But like people have their, I guess, their thing about you, ¿sabes?
It's because I think it was my fault because I kind of stepped away from the social media. You know, it was like, it gets a burn on you, you know? It's like being on there every day and kind of like, I want to live my life, you know, like me. And honestly, look, I don't do too much. The majority of my days, I'm out playing golf. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I swear to you, and I'm out there with raza. Like everywhere, all raza.
Have you played Canelo yet? Because Canelo loves golf.
I did.
Wow.
I won $3,500.
Wow.
But this was, I played him when I first started playing, but right now,
you can take him?
I think I got some gas for his ass.
Hey, you can say you beat Canelo? That's crazy.
No, he beat
owes
me.
Canelo.
He
owes Canelo.
Oh,
yeah,
he
he punched me, dog. Yeah, he could play. I'm going to tell you, he could play. That fool could play. But,
That's
I mean,
crazy.
Go even back to that, like, I look up to him, too, you know? It's like, dudes fly. My entrepreneurs that I looked up to, they had nothing to do with Mexicans. I swear to you, I don't look up to George Lopez. I don't look up to Mario Lopez. I don't look up to those people. I don't look up to them. I don't think they've ever really put something on for our raza. They did it for them, but I didn't see them put 20 people on with them.
Do you see how quiet we all got?
And now they're trying to do it.
That's some strong words,
You know,
but
I don't care. I'm gonna say it like it is, but I'm gonna be straight up. You know who are my entrepreneurs that I looked up to? Puff Daddy. Which whatever he has going on, that's none of my business.
The business
what he did.
side of
I'm
it.
talking about the business side. Me growing up, Master P, which was I got to tell him in person. You know what I'm saying? Russell Simmons, you know, Jay-Z, Dr. Dre. Those are people I grew up with, and I acknowledged and said, I want to be like them. You know what I'm saying? Like I learned my business from them. Like I seen them move and what they did and how they did it and whatever they did, you know? But I wanted to convert it into us. Like I was like, why can't we have people that we look up to?
Take that blueprint and apply it to Mexicans.
It's like, you know, I don't look up to the people that has really came up to us. Like I just look at them and be like, all right, cool, yeah, you funny, whatever, bro. You know, but you never done nothing. Like I've never seen you somewhere giving away something, you know, or being over here with your raza. Like nah, bro. And I can speak on other cultures, you know, like black people, you know, they do go back and do that. I do see them doing that.
Well, Jay-Z, I think you that's a great point with him and what he did with Rockefeller, the Rock Nation, and just in his music. He made sure to put it in there. Like, this is how we double it, we flip it, all of that and stuff like that.
You mentioned Drake earlier. How do you feel about him investing in an artist like Chino Pacas?
You want the truth?
Yeah, we're here for the truth.
I mean,
and then I'm waiting for tomorrow to be like, this gets cut.
I just think he ain't stupid. You know, he
Yeah.
ain't stupid. None of
Yeah.
these guys are stupid. They going after what's really making money.
Yeah.
You know, and look, I don't get me wrong. If it was the other way around, I'll try to invest in them too.
Yeah.
Because I'm a businessman, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, I see nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
right? But I think it's fair that if one wins, everybody wins.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you know, I know in my company, we've been blessed to put a lot of people on, but a lot of successful people came on. You know, it's like we taught
It's
them
not
the
just
business.
one. Yeah.
You know, I begged them, open your own company. JayDee will tell you, open your own record label, open this, open that. A lot of people has turned on me. I ain't tripping. They always come back. You know what I'm saying? Because they know
They
that
see-
they're gonna know that I didn't do it in any wrong way, and I'm not here to do a business. We were the first people that ever changed a contract. I said, look, when I came in the business, and a lot of people are like, oh, the bad conception, oh, Jimmy is boning them. Dude, that was what it was. I didn't know nothing better. Lawyers did these contracts.
Right.
You think I sat there and wrote a contract?
No.
Like, I have no idea. I was in the 9th grade, bro. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
could barely read and write. You know, real talk. You know, and my vocabulary's all fucked up. So, you know.
You're doing amazing for someone that has a fucked up vocabulary, can barely read and write. I'm gonna tell you that.
the street school.
Come on.
Street knowledge, you know, and going to that is like I wanted these guys because I know if we're winning, they're winning, then it's gonna be a bigger pocket for everybody, you know, and I mean, whatever. I mean, sharing everything is good. Like we had contracts where they had little percentages, and I said, nah, that's not cool. Let's flip it, and you know, let's give a bigger percentage, and it was like that, you know, and then now it was like, nah, I don't want to give you a percentage no more. I'm like, all right, bet, do your
Yeah.
thing, you know, I ain't tripping. You know,
see
people
what
do what they
happens.
do.
Yeah.
You know, and I respect it all sides. I'm not here. We're not here to work with everybody forever. We're here to work with everybody as much as we can and as long as we can. And look, everybody's replaceable. I'm replaceable. You guys are replaceable. Artists are replaceable. Everything is replaceable. And you know, it all works. Let's just take advantage of the moment. You know, that's what I'm about.
Sheesh, Jimmy Humilde, man.
Yeah.
Do y'all got anything?
Clika, August 15th.
Clika.
Yeah.
Clika
There you
shit.
For real.
JayDee, you wanna do a shout out? You wanna say hi to anybody?
Shout out everybody that's tuned in.
Hey.
Yes, sir. Clika, August 15th.
And you
Be
know,
ready.
I was watching a video of you guys talking about, like, you know, everyone's asking why JayDee took a break from music, and it's actually to be acting. But you know, like now, I guess what is up with the music? Because people are gonna want to be are gonna start asking once they see the film.
Yeah,
Again,
man,
we haven't even
I
seen.
got
it.
a whole bunch of tracks, everything ready already, and I've been in the studio lately. I'm actually in studio right now. I wasn't in studio today just because we're here, but we're cooking up right now. We got a whole lot on the way.
And you know, it's a trip. People are making. Again, we got was a poster. As of right now, there's no trailer. We looked up a fan made trailer, right? And that's why I thought maybe it might be a Jimmy Humilde biopic or something like that. I think
No, it has
there's a
nothing
lot
to
of
do with my
rumors
life.
out there about what this movie is. But Jimmy, what is this movie, Clika?
I'll give you a quick rundown. The movie is about culture. It's about a young kid, right? And the movie's about a young kid that has a dream. And you know, we all have dreams. You know, and I think it shows people how you can pursue whatever and not give up, right? And know that there's different obstacles and you just got to beat them, you know, and you got to get to where you need to get. And you know, family's involved. You know, it teaches you, you know, morals. It teaches you connections. It teaches you about love. It teaches you about respect. It teaches you about everything. But it's a movie. It's kind of like, I'm gonna say, is like a 8th Mile, Friday, Boys in the Hood in one, maybe. Okay. Like,
Yeah,
can it?
I mean,
Can we add Training Day in there because it feels very Training Day coloring?
Yeah, Training Day. I don't know. I think you could put a lot in it, right?
yeah,
So
for
it's
sure.
a
I mean,
lot of vibes for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, cause there's the like for the love scenes, it's funny as fuck. Like I was there.
The
for
love
a
scenes
couple
are
of-
funny.
Like it's funny seeing the homie have to go into like an enamorado mode.
He did good too, right?
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah, if it was like kickback vibes
Yeah.
at some scene, and then it's like really intense. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely gonna be a roller coaster for sure.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. It's honestly it's a movie that I could say that you can go watch it with your mom, with your brother, your sister, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. If that's what you
You leave
prefer.
proud?
Huh?
Do you leave proud?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I'm very emotional, you know, so it's like every time I watch it, it's the same part. It's like, oh, here comes this part. You know, it's like, and I swear, like, it's funny because it's these guys, the way they act. And like, I know DoKnow, but in the movie, I know Blunt, you know, and it's like, I know JayDee, but in the movie, I see, you know, Chito. And the Concrete's role is también like, I don't think
concrete.
It's
Yeah,
not
like
concrete. It's
no.
not
Really?
concrete. Like,
It's that
Like
that-
DoKnow and Concrete, like if you wouldn't know them as comedians and you were to see them on this
On
movie
film?
for the first time, you wouldn't think anything. You know, you would think like this is
Yeah.
their
Yeah, that's
natural.
their
This is
thing.
that was
what
the
they
hardest
do.
part because it was like, so you're telling me I gotta do this like this and like, and then but I mean shit exactly with JayDee. I know we're filming in Yuba City. There was like parts where it had to get I guess intense.
Yeah. The vibe,
And
yeah.
but we
I was
did-
like,
bro, I
oh,
know-
hold
I'm a
up.
mama,
I know
feel
this
like-
DoKnow.
I'm a mama. I think this fool was even mad at me. I couldn't get the part because it just was like, I swear to God, we did it like 20 times.
I was gonna ask, how do you memorize stuff, DoKnow?
Oh, terrible.
Yeah.
I'll be like, they'll be like, Michael will be like, DoKnow, you forgot this line. And for we're in a small town. It's 100 and something degrees.
It was like 110 degrees. I'm all black, hoodied
Oh,
up.
for you had a black
beanie.
hoodie.
Oh,
Yeah.
for the part?
Fool.
Yeah.
The whole cast was mad at me for like.
Oh, because he had to
15
keep it.
Yeah, because I'll fuck up. I'm like, oh, fuck, my fault, again and again.
What's
But
the line?
we can't say
He
it.
forgot it.
Wait and see.
For sure, it's been a minute. But I think, I mean, the same thing, like, I think seeing Concrete play a whole other person was like, fuck, that's intense, fool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
What-
wanted to ask real quick. So we got these classic Mexican American films, right? We got American Me, Blood In, Blood Out, Selena, Mi Familia. If I have a DVD case, can I place this right next to those?
It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
And, like it's not like about a famous person or anything, you know. Like I mean, Blood In, Blood Out isn't either, but it's more on like it's more of like a family oriented movie that's like más como de un padre y una madre mexicana que vinieron acá de, you know what I'm saying, de México y para darnos a nosotros una oportunidad. And it's like till now I haven't seen movies like this,
that.
to be honest.
Have you seen My Family? Not My Family, but Mi Familia, the movie? Oh, bro.
Probably. I probably have,
It's
but
good.
I just don't. I won't
Have you seen
remember.
My Family?
Yeah, but
No, it's different.
Yeah,
It's
it's-
different.
We're
We're trying to put. You guys only put out a fucking poster. I'm trying to figure out where to put it in my little brain.
I'm gonna tell you what it is.
It's a struggle
It's like, you know what it is? It's like fly inspirational.
Okay, because I'm thinking, is it like Under the Same Moon with Kay del Castillo?
Nah.
We're gonna get them dissing song movies.
it's more like Friday the 13th, you know, Jaws.
Is it like Jaws?
I did
It's
have
intense.
a question.
It's intense.
The
I love
Avengers.
it. I love
like
it.
that.
I love it.
Spider-Man.
I did want to ask about the soundtrack. Like, how was what's the soundtrack looking like? Did
You know what?
select it?
That's a funny question because that's actually a meeting I want to have with him next week because we have
do it right now.
ideas.
Yeah, we could do it.
No, we
right now.
have ideas. we actually like, you know, we do want to invite collabs like
Yeah.
you know, this dude did something with an artist, and when the idea came across, it's like, bet, let's do it. With Draco.
Draco
Yeah.
Ruler.
Yeah.
Yes,
Draco
sir.
Ruler. And when he did something with him, it was like, dude, like, I like that he stayed in his lane, right?
Yeah.
And this soundtrack is about a lane, and I think we're gonna be very careful on what comes out in this soundtrack. Which, trust me, like everybody's been trying to get on it, you know,
Right.
and
Yeah.
that people that have nothing to do with the Mexican music
Want to be a part of it.
want to be a part of it.
Yeah, they
you
know
know?
what it's gonna mean to,
Like,
and
they-
the audience is gonna open them up to.
Yeah.
Because just as much as people want to watch the film, they want to listen to that soundtrack.
Yeah. You know when our trailer is gonna be featured?
When?
You gotta go watch the movie Spider-Man.
That's tight. That's
Yeah.
fucking tight, Jimmy.
Yeah. I mean, we flexing.
Come
I'm
on,
honest.
come on.
Yeah.
Do you have at least the title soundtrack then? Like
The title track?
the main one.
Well,
We got
JayDee?
plenty to choose from.
Yeah.
But I still feel like I'm trying to look for more. You know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to have more options. But I know I have some ideas of what I
Of what
want
it's
to
gonna
do.
be.
Yeah, what it's gonna be.
And you just gotta let them cook, because they like, even just putting a album together, period, not even a soundtrack, it has to hit at the, and track 1 and track 2 gotta go together a certain way. So understanding that it's still gotta be cooked up.
Yeah. It has
So
to
you're
have a
saying
good
there's
chemistry.
still time,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
Actually, we are. I definitely want to do something with G Perico in it too.
Oh.
G Perico's my boy.
Clika
Shout
shit
out to
and
him.
click like
Wow,
yeah,
'cause
click. That
Yeah,
makes sense.
He has
there's a
Enterprise Click.
OGZ for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
OGZ.
You know, it's
Fire.
like OGZ.
You know DoKnow rap?
Huh?
DoKnow raps.
Yeah, do know.
You never heard his
man.
music? He does. It's so true.
Spit some, spit some.
Oh yeah, I did hear it. I did hear
Oh, yeah,
it.
we're talking about.
Yeah,
I think
I
it was
did.
clowning. It was clowning with concrete and shit.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
were
Dude,
there.
do the song down
You know,
Glendale.
country rap too, right?
Yeah, concrete
Oh
rap.
yeah.
Oh yeah, concrete.
Yeah.
DoKnow and concrete.
He has a techno
Barretta.
coming or something, no?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was taking us off with Bolo. Yeah.
Oh
What a
yeah,
cup.
his
Oh, yeah,
his
Yeah,
DJ.
but they just
yeah,
played
yeah.
it at Beyond. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy.
Just saying, there you got someone right
Let's
there.
go.
Yeah.
Nah, see, when even when we're filming a movie, these fools had to these fools had to do like the music. I had to pretend I knew how to play instruments.
Oh, you had played
I
this.
said I'm a pendejo kind of a little
What
bit.
were you playing? The air what?
Nothing. I don't know. I was just right there like
The air.
It looks like it's a
violin?
no. It
But
looks
also-
like it's
but
a
also-
guitar.
but also-
Oh, the air
Concrete to
requinto?
her. Concrete to her.
Carky the pendejo was like,
Yeah.
all right, JD, just one more time, just.
Not do no
That
musical.
fools couldn't figure it
That's
out.
so
Yeah.
funny.
Like, look, these. I'm serious. Like,
Mm-hmm.
they played out of their character.
Yeah,
You know,
but they
and-
got it. They got
but,
it.
But we did that on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I mean, we got something else coming. Gracias a
Yeah,
Dios.
and you have to challenge him.
and then we're
He's
gonna
growing.
we're gonna fit into what they really about. You know, and look, this is the beginning of it. I'm honestly gonna tell you something that I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I've seen it happen in the music industry.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's gonna be the #1 movie out there, and I know there's gonna be better to come because this is our first.
First of many, yeah.
But I'm not. It's not gonna stay behind.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely gonna be a top.
It's up there.
Yeah.
And the thing with us is, again, how they're mentioning classics. These are movies we watch 20, 30 years after
100
they
times,
were
yeah.
created. And that's that repetitive watching and that tie into culture. That's forever, you know?
I just didn't want to tap into like the cholo scene. I didn't want to tap into like the.
That
Like I
story's
kinda-
been told.
Yeah, like if you you know how many people has brought like a cholo movie to me,
Yeah.
and I'm like bro, like you can't even say that, fool. You know,
Yeah.
like
Facts.
you like fool, you can't even talk like that,
Yeah.
fool. Like stop. you
Okay,
know,
because
like-
low-key him on the 6th Street Bridge, I'm like, oh, okay, I get, like, it's some LA street shit.
Yeah.
But now you're telling me, see, you have
But it's
to
a whole
drop
different
the
it's-
trailer,
it's- it's-
please.
It's a whole
Like-
different
like-
story.
It's a
It's a
mix.
whole
It's a mix.
Yeah, it's a mix of
very-
everything. Like you
it's-
said, it's all of that in one. It's intense. It's a love story. The sex
Es como
scenes
un
are funny.
perro de la calle, tiene de todo.
I don't know what it is. It's
Pitbull,
everything.
Firulais, el pinche Firulais.
Yeah. And then moms in
Spike.
it. Yeah.
El
Shout out
Spike.
moms.
El Spike.
I did want to ask you about Edward James almost specifically because what he did, although the movie's not similar to what he did with like American Me and stuff, that's who someone that I saw like damn the way that he produced the movie because no one was putting money up for a film that like he felt represented us, especially in the 90s and that time. I think looking at something like that, I can't help but think this is, I guess, the baton passing, you know, like
That's
of sorts.
definitely a person I that inspired me. That's definitely a person that I look up to in the movie business.
Mm-hmm.
But I would want to ask him one day why he gave up. You know?
Why stop?
Yeah, why he stopped. I mean, like he shouldn't have. You know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, look, you look at all these actors, right? And
Question: do you feel like people try to stop you though? Because it might be like, you know, sometimes we don't know the battles you face to even bring us
of
stuff.
course. I mean, in the music business and everything, you know, it's like, but then again, you got to think about it. It's like, don't nobody know our lane. Like, I think that we've structured enough. Like, yeah, there's gonna be a lot of artists gonna come out
Yeah.
in the music business, but I guarantee you, I could grab JayDee and put him back on top. Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like we built this lane.
Yeah.
You know, and gracias a Dios we could do that, and that's what we're doing with the movie business. Like, I didn't go after actors that I know that I could hire,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then again, they weren't gonna believe in it as much these people did.
Yeah.
You feel me? And they're not gonna put in the same guts that these guys did. And to be honest, it's like there's really not actors out there I respect, like being raza. You know, it's like I've met some, you know, and they've told me like, hey, fool, you know, we got this. I mean, look, there's some that are out there and they're really, really trying, but they haven't been able to get to that door.
Yeah.
You know, and nothing but love and respect for them. And there's some that have been in big movies, but that's all they can do, you know. And I'm not looking for that. Right. You know, I'm not looking to be that in that movie. Like, I want to take it and open the opportunity for more. You know, it's like I already spoke to another guy the other day that just, you know, because of this, Universal Pictures already picked up another film. You know, and it's like, and the guy was like, oh, you're gonna be mad. I'm like, gonna be mad? Like, dude, I'm happy. Like, hell yeah. Like, I see more people getting, you know, their doors open, and it's like, it's excellence, you know. Like,
that excellence, dog.
Like, look, what a blessing to be in a room full of raza. You know what I'm saying? Like right now, it's like, last time I did an interview for a radio station, it was probably one raza person in there, and everybody else was talking about like they knew who raza was, you know. And I was like, you ain't raza, dog. You know, like I ain't gonna speak no less and no more, but but this is
you want to open it up.
This
to
is my
them.
dream, actually. Like, I swear to God, in my life, this is my dream right here, to see us Mexican American or whatever Latino race you guys are, and to be together, just talking about, you know, what we doing, you know, and to me that was my goal, and to me this is one of my goals, you know, and this is dope. And when I get to see stuff like that, like when I heard the brown bag, like I got it. Like, I remember I hit up, dude, man, I'm hearing. Remember, I was like, man, I'm hearing you, dog. And hell yeah, this is dope, dog. And to me, that's dope. You know, I don't hate on nobody. I say it's whack. I'm gonna be honest about it. That don't mean I'm hating on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I see
your opinion about it,
you got to give your opinion, you know, and just be that.
That's just another confirmation to us that we're doing something right. Yeah. Also, if you ever need extras, dog, even if there's if there's a line I got,
we actually had a radio scene and we took it out.
Dude.
Yeah, we took it out.
No, we were time to be like,
hey. I didn't write the movie, fool.
Like, I didn't write the movie. We didn't know where to go.
I'm not there no more.
Who do you guys want there? I don't think
they're busy. They're not available.
I mean, our goal
is... they're at DD's right now.
DD's discount?
DD's or Diddy's?
I love DD's discount. He was at DD's. Not
me.
You were there too.
We left at the same time.
Only thing I ever bought at DD's was socks.
That's good.
That's it,
at a
dog.
good price.
Like,
at a good price.
You know what was my store? Like, it still is a low key Burlington Corp.
Oh yeah, they be having the shit.
What do you mean?
They be having the shit.
You put a whole fit right there. You know?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Like,
you get Jordan brand and everything over there.
And you got to talk to the homies in there, because they'll tell you where they hide everything at. You know?
I need that purple
You don't
label.
even know about that. About Ross and Marshall.
I need that purple label.
I promise you, I never change those tags. You don't know about that, fool.
Y'all got anything?
I wanted to ask you. You mentioned that you were broke for 37 years of your life.
Yep.
What kept you going? Because a lot of people will be like,
being broke. I'd have a choice, fool. Nah.
Yeah, like, because a lot of people will be like, if I don't make it by 30, I'm going to just do something else. Or what kept you just that fire inside you?
I was always comfortable, bro. I've always been happy, dog. Like, I swear to you, it's like, I think I was happier broke, you know? It's like, I tell people that all day. Wow. And it's like, it's a different thrive, for sure, you know? But I still feel the same, though. I swear to you, bro. Like, if I could tell you I felt the same since I was 17, 18, 30, 35. Damn, that sounds old, huh? But, you know, I still feel the same. Like with this movie, I'm hustling the same that I would 10, 15 years ago, you know? And honestly, it's like, I've turned down so much stuff and are come up from, like, sponsorships, you know, partnerships and stuff like that, because I know those are the people that could kind of, like, take it to the right and leave to what we have here, you know? So it's like I get involved a lot with mom and shop places and people that do their own stuff, like, you know, JayDee put me on with Cap City and I don't care about anything else, you know. And then
is that where these hats at?
Yeah,
from?
Actually, I brought some. You know, I'm gonna tell my guys to bring. It's like 4 or 5 of them. I didn't want to. I was like, damn, it's like 20 of them. Leave them in the car.
Yeah. They're gonna fight for it. Just
I'll send you a sweater.
Just throw it in the air, see whoever catches it.
Yeah. But you know, it was like I support all that, and I really like. Big companies hit me up right after that drop, and I was like, yeah, talk to them. Yeah. And he was like, what? You told him to call me? And I was like, well, I mean, you were the guy with the drop, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, and other people won't be like that. They'll take that deal, you know, and it's like with Peso Pluma, for example, you know, that my attorney was, you know, it's his manager. My old attorney is his manager.
I didn't know that.
Brahim,
Brahim, he was my attorney, and when I've met Brahim since I was like, you know, 17, 18 years old, when I was working for another artist as a gopher. You know what a gopher is, right?
Yeah.
Go for this.
You go for everything. Yeah.
I used to iron his pants, do everything.
Sheesh.
And El Original de la Sierra back in the days. And then, you know, I knew Brahim because he worked for his label, and then Brahim got out of the music business. And then I reached out to Brahim because I needed a lawyer, and I was like, oh, I know Brahim, you know? It's like, and I know he became a lawyer later in life, and then I hired him and another guy named Anthony that's been a lawyer forever to be my lawyers again. And then, you know, I kind of made Brahim like, dude, you got to get back in the music business. Come on, there has to be more. And I kind of like forced him back, and he started with like the old, like the 90s music because that's where he was at. And he helped me a lot with a lot of stuff that I had to do for that. And then, you know, he brought this kid to me named Peso, and I was like, you know, he's cool and all that, but he's not really my vibe, you know, like, and I supported it 100%, you know, and you know, the good to see like where they're at right now, you know, and where my old attorney was, I was like, no, I'm never gonna be a manager, I'm never gonna do this. And now we're in the spotlight, like, you know, it's dope, you know. To me, it's like I look at that, and you know, he every time he gets up on a panel or something, he gives props to me too, you know, and then it's like that's dope. But you know, going back to the question you asked me is like, and I could tell anybody else, like, just don't give up. Like, if you believe in that shit, like if you believe in it, don't shake it off, don't stop. You know, don't think it can't be done, because at the end of the day, if you don't do it, probably somebody else gonna do it. You know, and somebody's out there with a bigger hustle than you and a bigger thrive than you, and somebody, you know, somebody rich, there's somebody richer. Somebody poor, there's somebody poorer. You know, and it's like there's a girl with a BBL, there's one without it. You know, and it's like it depends what you want in life and go after it. You know. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Let's go. Wow.
Jimmy, I wanted to ask you, in the movie, do you make like a cameo? Are you part of the movie?
I did.
You like Stanley and Marvel?
I did. Like Stanley and Marvel, huh? I did. It was like I kind of didn't want to act in front of him. I was kind of nervous. You know? I was being shy. Like I was like, I can't act in front of my artists. You know, like these are my boys. You know, but it was hard, man. Like, but I was like, I'll play something that's me. You know? And then I did, and it was pretty cool, man. It was a little part.
I know, you did it once, you're gonna have to do it every movie. Vas a ver.
You gotta pop out in every single
trust me,
movie
I
like
really
that.
didn't want to do it, bro. I was like, nah, I don't want to do it. They were like, we can't find another person to replace it. And I was like, yeah, look, you so-and-so. And they were like, nah, we really want you to do it. And I shout out to Michael and Sean that forced me to do it and changed my mind on it. And Foots too. And Fitz was like, you got this, dog. You're a Dodger fan. And I was like, all right.
You're going to see people start cheering at that moment when you pop up. Yeah. It's going to be a thing. It's going to be its own little thing of when you catch Jimmy in a movie.
Well, we're going to have a big movie premiere.
Come on.
You guys are for sure invited.
Yes. Fool, run it through me. Just I'll figure it out.
I got you, DoKnow.
Is it going to be at the compound? Because low-key, I've heard...
We're shooting for a big premiere.
Come on.
Ooh. We're shooting for a big premiere with lowriders and everything.
Oh.
Mariachi,
the urban legends I've heard about your compound, though, Jimmy, from the fleet of the cars that you had, the studios, the people you meet, like, it's just really...
You got to come check out the payphone.
What's the payphone?
You have a payphone there, yeah. We got a payphone and a liquor store.
The liquor store, we got a liquor store.
Oh yeah, we don't go out when we go in the compound. We don't
need to.
Yeah, you don't gotta go nowhere, low key. You don't gotta go nowhere.
That's how he keeps you there working. Hey, you're hungry? There's a liquor store right there.
They have a McDonald's there.
You're getting the Raising Cane's.
Shut up.
Fool, there's catering. You can watch kids play baseball there.
Damn.
If I was to do one, it'd be King Taco. Like put a King Taco in here. You know?
Jimmy Humilde, thank you for coming in. Whenever you want to come again, we'll speak on whatever. Use this as your megaphone though, because it's really important for us to include to keep that going. JayDee, thank you so much for all the words that you said today and how much.
Hey, but you're gonna be surprised how much he like in the movie is like. Yeah. It's like a whole different JayDee. Like
really?
He talks.
Yeah, it's a whole nother vibe. Yes, sir.
Well, it's like, he gets paid to talk, and we're not paying him. So
hey, and he's funny too. He's funny, and it's like, dude, like, I just can't wait for you guys to see it because I mean, it's dope. is dope.
And we're always happy to see DoKnow on screen.
Yeah.
DoKnow
He's
skis.
like our little baby child that's going off into the world. You know, I'm the oldest one, so I always feel like this is my little child, like going off into the wilderness and then coming back.
The wilderness.
Like,
Yeah, that was weird when I got like the email like about like the talking points. I was like, "Fool, I'm gonna just go." Like, why am I getting the email if I'm gonna pull up to Brownback Morning? And I was like,
875 movie theaters across the U.S.
amazing.
That's gonna show the movie.
I know you're a numbers guy, so hit us with those numbers. It's August 15th. There's gonna be a big ass premiere. Those 72%, like that brown dollar, like we said, spend on this month and on this movie on Clika. You know, it represents everybody and hits every point that we have when we talk about Latinos, how much we love our family, how much we love our friends, how much we love music. All of that is right here in this film. See, I didn't even watch it yet.
Yeah, people gotta go out. Don't bootleg this shit. Spend your money on it. Every time I see like a hip hop movie or anything, I always make an effort to pay for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like with this,
Don't
it's gonna be the
one,
same.
2, 3 movies, stream it. Don't
No,
do that.
fuck that. No, because the more you spend, the more opportunities you're gonna get for more films. You know, fuck Stream East right now. I mean, just only for Laker games.
Hey Jimmy. By the way, he's from LA.
and he goes for the Padres.
Dile algo.
Oh, man, you gotta-
this year. Championship bound this year.
What?
You guys aren't taking it. You guys aren't taking it.
Oh man, what'd you do? Come up with a different glove to catch those balls? Or what? You only play a Yankees?
Oh, true. With a torpedo
Trying to
bat.
make different bats to hit a ball. Come on.
Hey,
man.
this is good to get
Who's
your...
gonna put you on, Machado?
Yeah.
It's funny how Teoscar started following me, and I was like, "What?" I was like, "Look, I started."
No
Yeah.
way. That's tight.
Yeah, I went to go eat with Otani yesterday too. It was pretty cool.
Guys, you know when I met
I
Carlino,
wish, food.
I don't know what to believe because you have such a crazy life that it would happen.
Your parking
You'll be
spot is next to
surprised.
Otani's?
Yeah, this
You'll be
stuff,
surprised people I've had conversations with.
Yeah. You met Charlino. You told us.
I
Look.
tell you, you know who's like my everyday mentors? Not every day, but like guy named Tommy Mottola
No way.
and Tommy Hilfiger.
Wow.
Like, yeah, these are people like I had conversations.
These are the home.
with.
You
Tommy
golf with
group
them,
chat.
huh?
No, I don't golf with them. They probably richer than that.
Richer than golf.
They too rich to golf.
Yeah.
You know, they probably probably have people golfing for them. You know, no, but those are people that has like really
That
like,
mentorship is strong. That's
yeah.
amazing.
Head of song.
yeah, just to be on the conversation with these people like Tommy Mottola is a hell of a friend of mine, and you know I produced Talia's album. I don't know how, but I did.
Incredible.
It was crazy. Actually, they just gave me a thing. I'm producing an album that Vicente Fernandez left, and they gave it to me to produce it.
Jimmy,
Yeah.
Whoa.
that's pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Do you
That's
go
one
over
of
there
the-
to the rancho?
Huh?
Have you been to the rancho?
No, but I'm gonna go.
That's amazing.
wow.
It's crazy
You guys
to
know
have
tequila
conversations
too.
with Alejandro Fernandez, with Pepe Aguilar.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
You're in the
it's
group
like,
chat? You're in the Mexican Legends group chat?
nah, they don't like each other, fool.
They're
Nah, you gotta be careful. Like,
Yeah.
Put him in.
like, oh, fool, I was just with Pedro.
Someone
like,
else,
I can't tell
yeah.
him I was with
I get you.
Someone
they
else.
mad. Like they really like got a lot of Mexican artists, like the old school ones. They got beef.
Yeah,
bro,
it's real.
You know? I'm like,
Yeah.
damn, that's deep.
It's not a new thing. It's definitely not a new thing. That's incredible. I can't wait to see that. Again, the further you get, the more we feel like we can do. So keep doing that. I know sometimes people again they misconstrue who you are, what you represent, but what I've come to know, even as like how heavy-handed you are, Jimmy, and how like you guys got to get it. It's for a reason, you know?
Yeah.
It's for the benefit of all of us. Too many times we see people pop in that look like us, but they only think about themselves. Like you said, you're not here to turn your back on your people. And I appreciate that beyond anything.
Never that. Never
All right.
that. And thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much for coming
All
through,
day.
Jimmy Humilde,
Jimmy
JayDee,
Humilde.
DoKnow,
Yeah.
Clika,
Clika.
August 15th, man, in theaters. Watch the trailer when you see Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Be on there.
Keep it here. It's Power 106, Brownback Mornings. Buenos dias.
Bam.